Joining us now is former CDC acting director and current president and CEO of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, Dr. Richard Besser. Good morning. Thank you for being with us.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
So tell us, for parents that are worried about getting their young children vaccinated, what do you say to them to ease their fears?
Yeah, I'm a general pediatrician, and I spend a lot of time talking with parents about vaccination. And the decision by CDC yesterday brings me joy because it will save lives. It will prevent hospitalizations. We talk about how thankful we are that COVID is less severe in young children. But there have been almost 2 million cases of COVID in children 5 to 11. There have been over 8,000 hospitalizations and nearly 100 deaths. And so now parents have something that they can do to provide protection for their children and those around their children. And, going into the holiday season, I know that I'll be spending time with parents talking about this, addressing their questions and concerns, and hopefully vaccinating a lot of children.
A common concern you hear from parents is, I want to wait. I want to wait and see. They hear the phrase emergency use. What does that mean? How does it compare to a normal vaccine and the normal time it takes to approve a vaccine to ensure its safety?
Yeah, I think it's really important we give parents space to listen, to learn, and to make their decisions. And so there, about 30% of parents want to get their kids vaccinated right away. Another third want to watch and wait, and another third say, I don't think this is for my child. I think those groups are going to change over time. I watched the hearings last week with the Food and Drug Administration and yesterday at CDC, and I came away convinced that there have been no corners cut here. The size of these trials in children are what are typically done for vaccines for children. They've been shown to be safe. They've been shown to be effective. Going forward, they'll be monitoring to look to see, well, are there any unusual side effects that wouldn't show up in a trial of this size? In the good news front, even the immediate side effects tend to be less severe than in adults. It's much less common to see fever. What you'll tend to see in kids who have any kind of side effect is sore arm and maybe a little bit of fatigue, but it is much less than we see with some other childhood vaccines.
I think people half listen sometimes. They don't know which vaccine does what. This is the Pfizer one approved. Moderna is the one that they were worried about, this risk of myocarditis. Talk about that, and if it's anything people should be worried about here.
Yeah, myocarditis is an inflammation of the heart muscle, and it's caused by a number of things in children. One of the leading causes are viral infections like the flu, which again, a reminder, it's time to get your kids vaccinated against the flu. But the flu and COVID can cause myocarditis, this inflammation of the heart muscle. What has been seen with the Moderna vaccine, I think about 30 cases per million children, is a form of inflammation of the heart muscle. But the good news in terms of that is that the CDC has followed those children and has seen rapid recovery. There has not yet been a child who's lost their life from that. And that's not something you can say about COVID. The type of myocarditis that you see from the infection itself is much more severe than the extremely rare kind that you see in young people who've gotten this vaccine. The other side of that is that the prediction is that myocarditis will be much less common in children under the age of 12, that it may be related to pubertal changes that you see, to hormonal changes, and in young children they expect it to be much less common. They didn't see it at all in the trials. There wasn't a single case, but the trials were small enough that even if it's going to occur rarely, you probably wouldn't have seen it.
All right, you can follow Dr. Besser on Twitter at Dr. Rich Besser and get more information at rwjf.org. Thanks for being with us, Doctor.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.